I tell you a story that happened to me. So long time ago, I had a terrible accident where I was traveling. I sat in a bus, 18-seater bus. I was in front. About 10 minutes into the journey, the front tire where I was busted, and the bus somersaulted a few times into a pit. In Nigeria, we call it borrow pit, if you remember what that is. It's a pit filled with water. Maybe they dug sand from that place to do road works. So it's really usually big and deep. But thank God there was no water inside. Somehow, I just escaped with some bruises on my forehead. But thereafter, traveling became a problem. I'm talking about trauma. That accident traumatized me to a point where if you call the name travel, because I'm going to enter the car, I start having raising heartbeats, palpitation, fear, anxiety. This I suffered for years. And back home, I would just say casually, but it was actually eating me up. That when it comes to travel, I know of people today that can't fly, anxiety, trauma, fear, stories that they've heard or things that have happened to them in the past. So I came to the UK, and when I'm in front, I remember one day I almost held the steering from the hands of the person that was driving, because all I could hear was the tire busting. I kept hearing that noise. Now I know it's like flashbacks. So I was having flashbacks. Anytime I see a car, I will have flashbacks. It was horrible. When I'm traveling, I'm going, my heart palpitation. I can never sleep in a bus, in a car, all because I kept hearing that. It was a terrible time. But gradually, I started praying about it. I started reading about it. And I found out something they call gradual exposure. It is a psychological intervention where you gradually introduce the objects of fear. You expose the person to that thing that they are afraid of. All this I didn't know then, but in my quest to look for solution, I talked to myself. I read The Power of Positive Thinking. I did all sorts of things, take a deep breath in research and in quest to overcome that. I never knew in my lifetime that I would drive, but I started exposing myself. Yet gradually the palpitation reduced. Then come to when I started thinking of driving. How can I drive when the thought of even entering a car was such a big problem? I'm sure some people, might not be about driving, but something had happened to you that you are stuck in that particular place, having flashbacks, trauma, living it again. I remember then I could literally hear the tire sound as if it just busted again, like a big balloon that just blew up. That was how bad it was. Anyway, with time, I kept exposing myself to it. Then I started learning how to drive. Using a driving instructor was very helpful because I knew I was safe. There was someone else who was by my side. With time, I did the theory, and look at it. Today, I've been driving for at least 10 years. When I'm driving now, I had to actually look at the speedometer to be sure I don't exceed 70. I tell you, I can even drive 80 kilometers. I can drive 100 kilometers per hour. But because of the driving restriction and safety precautions, I have to stay between 60 and 70. I hope this story inspires someone. Whatever that thing is that you are having flashbacks on, mine is easy. It is, well, not easy because it wasn't funny when I was going through it, but I mean, some are more serious than others. But check out gradual exposure. They can use that same psychological intervention to overcome so many other things related to trauma. I hope this helps.